Hi, my name is Jacob Petterly, CEO and founder of Magna Shox. Energy, efficiency, greenhouse gases. Three terms we've all become familiar with over the past 30 years from numerous avenues of our lives. And regardless of your stance on climate change, the fact is, since the 1800s, global emissions have exploded. Next slide, please. And this has unprecedented effects on our climate, environment, natural resources, and ultimately human life. This affects every industry in our lives. In one specific industry, road transportation. Next slide, please. Road transport, that affects every area of our lives. Whether you drive your own vehicle, carpool, participate in mass transport, road transport is an integral way in which we connect to one another. Next slide. One more, please. Thank you. And despite the use of road vehicles, they're surprisingly inefficient, with up to 80% of a vehicle's energy not used to move it forwards, producing unnecessary pollutants. Let me say that one more time. 8 out of 10 gallons of gas you put into your vehicle does nothing to move it forwards and produces unnecessary pollution. From a strictly monetary standpoint, this is a horrible investment with a guaranteed loss of 80% returns on your money. You'd be better off investing in GameStop than putting gas in your car. And that's just that 80% loss is just to get the energy from your car's fuel tank or battery pack to the wheels. After that, a significant portion of losses are lost due to suspension energy, as highlighted in the gray. Your suspension is designed to keep your vehicle's ride safe and comfortable. And as you drive down the road, your suspension is absorbing energy from the road surface. However, current suspension technology does not recapture this energy that is lost from the bumps in the roadways, and ultimately decreases vehicle efficiency, increases net emissions, and as well as makes your vehicle less efficient. We saw this as a problem and wanted to create a solution that addresses efficiency in vehicles and recaptures this lost energy. And this is why we created Magna Shox. Next slide, please. One more slide, please. Magna Shox is the first shock absorber in the world that is an electromagnetic energy harvesting performance shock absorber. Magna Shox offer increased efficiency to vehicles. Next slide, please. They offer efficient power. If every vehicle on the roadways was equipped with Magna Shox, this would be the equivalent of removing 132 million vehicles from roadways. Magna Shox not only are efficient, but they offer adaptive performance. They rapidly respond to changing road conditions and offer unprecedented safety and traction control. Magna Shox are design durable. With fewer components, fewer failure points, and a longer life cycle, they're designed to last the lifetime of a vehicle. And finally, Magna Shox are simple to integrate. Magna Shox maintain the traditional form factor of a shock absorber for easy installation into current vehicles. Next slide, please. So I drew a fancy little graph, inefficient to efficient, not durable to durable. And first you got OEM suspension in the bottom left. It's decent, it does a good job, it does what it's made for. However, it's not super durable and it's inefficient. Then next you got air suspension. Unfortunately, it's less durable, has a lot of failure points. Could you go back? Thank you. It's not durable, has fewer failure points, and is also inefficient, does not capture energy. And then you have the active valve system. It improves on durability, offers good ride quality. However, it's still inefficient. We saw this as a problem, didn't think that there needed to be a compromise between efficiency, durability, and performance. And this is what Magna Shox are, a synergistic pairing of efficiency and durability and unprecedented performance. Next slide, please. So how does it work? Well, a vehicle equipped with Magna Shox is continuously monitoring road data and feedback. This data is controlled by a traction controller that simultaneously adapts to a road surface and offers increased performance and comfort to the shock. At the same time, the traction controller is directing power to vehicle systems, such as vehicle electronics with dashboards, lights, as well as vehicle comfort systems, such as climate control, heated seats, AC. And this applies to both gas and electric vehicles for increased efficiency and decreased emissions. In EVs specifically, you can even increase and supplement the battery supply on board. Next slide, please. So just to make sure it wasn't wishful thinking, we built a prototype last fall to validate some of our initial assumptions and concerns in our math model. And this was our predicted results that we expected to happen. Next slide, please. And in blue, you can see our experimental results. We were right on the money with the energy we hope to produce from the Magna Shox system and technology. So that leaves us with a ginormous market opportunity. The Magna Shox industry last in 2019, next slide please, was $16 billion. Of that, our total addressable market is around $16 billion. And because no direct competitors exist with regenerative technology in this growing market, we believe we can capture up to 1 billion of this market. Next slide, please. So our target markets are large automotive brands with greater than 2% market share. There are 20 plus large automotive brands globally that comprise this criteria. As a secondary market, we want to target aftermarket performance enthusiasts. This is predominantly male, and it's evenly distributed across all economic brackets as well as age groups. Next slide, please. We want to sell directly to businesses, directly to automotive brands as our primary market. We want to sell the Magna Shox, as a product along with a subscription with software. That includes data analysis, system updates, performance updates, and efficiency improvements as this technology grows and collects more data. As a secondary market, we want to sell directly to customers through an online distribution. We will use a tier-based pricing system based on software features with the ability to upgrade the software throughout the lifetime of the product. Next slide, please. And we want to partner with an innovative EV manufacturer. And if when you thought of innovative EV manufacturer, I could probably guess most of you thought of Tesla, or was either the first or one of the only companies you thought of. And that's exactly why we want to partner with them. We want to partner with Tesla throughout development. We believe that despite their smaller market share, we can utilize their market exposure and sustainable vision to further integrate with other global brands. As a secondary market, we want to partner with extreme racing athletes, as well as race teams like Formula E and NASCAR's other race divisions to utilize driver and team endorsements to promote our technology to other individuals. Next slide, please. So despite our two separate market groups, there's several commonalities between them. And that is both customers want a durable, adjustable, high-performance shock absorber at a low cost. However, automotive brands see emissions, vehicle range and efficiency, and safety as high priorities due to government regulations and restrictions within their respective countries. However, auto enthusiasts would like a product that is easy to install, it's easy to adjust, and a simple user interface that they can cater to their needs. Next slide, please. So where are we at now? Currently, as of last year, like I mentioned, we have developed the proof of concept prototype, and we hope to complete seed funding this quarter, or second quarter of this year, to able to fund our MVP and our validation of our technology fully in a full-scale MVP. This will bring our technology to a level 7, which we'll then use and demonstrate to hopefully leverage and complete Series A funding, allowing us to complete a full IP portfolio that is robust and ready for market. Next slide, please. In order to develop our MVP, there's several deliverables, milestones, and risks that our team is currently managing and attempting to mitigate. Over the next few months, we plan to highlight and analyze all notable risks in order to mitigate schedule delays and issues. Next slide. To fund our MVP, we're seeking $26,500, and that will go to cover US IP protection, manufacturing, MVP test equipment, as well as a test vehicle. Next slide, please. We believe that Magna Shox is a dynamic product in a high growth industry. And we believe that because our technology is the first of its kind and proprietary and no direct competitors exist, there'll be an explosive product in this market. Because of global trends towards efficiency and energy recovery, our team is passionate about Magna Shox. And we believe with our team and group of advisors, as well as the support from financial investments in groups such as the Montfort College of Business, we can not only transform the transportation industry, but redefine vehicle sustainability for this generation and generations to come. Thank you for your time. Are there any questions?
Thank you so much. We will move into the Q&A portion now. There was a question that came from an attendee with regard to research in in alternative electric vehicles in development, aside from Tesla. Yeah, so do you see any other more affordable electric vehicles as an option?
So the question is, just to clarify, is the question, I guess, let me just read it real quick. Is that okay if I read it?
Yes, go ahead.
So I can address it well. Yeah, that's an awesome question. So we don't see Tesla, we see Tesla as a vehicle to market, not the market itself. Because Tesla, everyone knows Tesla, like most of you probably thought of Tesla when I said an innovative EV manufacturer. Other companies are catching up, but we believe Tesla will be the vehicle to reach these other networks. Because I'm sure a lot of you have heard GM, or at least if you watch the Super Bowl, they released an ad that said they're bringing 25 to 30 EVs by 2025. And right now on a technological like S-curve with technology explosion, our customers have said that we're right on the cusp of the exponential portion of that technology explosion. So awesome question. Again, just to summarize, Tesla is the vehicle to market, not the market itself, primarily.
Thank you. Our next question will come from Judge Amanda Peterson.
Hey, Jacob, I just want to congratulate you on your presentation, keeping it in time, as well as involving some humor. So great job. I know that it's hard to keep it timely. So my question comes with your partnership with Tesla, and as you kind of just recapped, as a mode or a vehicle to a larger market, how do you plan, or have you already made that connection with them? And then as a sub question to that, how do you, in your fancy graph, as you like to put it, they have a product already, so how do you plan to kind of override their product?
Yeah, of course. Awesome questions. So to address the first one, we have actually already contacted research and development within Ford Motor Company, which is a gigantic motor corporation, third in the world. Tesla right now is just a little bit harder to find contacts. All of our calls are cold calls. Theo Beck, who's leading up our business development, is working hard at that right now. So we hope to gain at least a connection to start off with that. But we have had success with other large corporations. So to answer the first one, that's my answer. The second one, Tesla, if you look on Tesla's website, their statement is pretty much a greener future and sustainability. And very few businesses are built off of that model. And so the way we want to enter the market, and we see as like Tesla's vision, is we want to show that our product will not only be cheaper than their current air suspension, but also offer better ride quality. Because of the way our suspension works in proprietary design, it doesn't compromise performance with efficiency. And so that's how we hope to showcase it to Tesla and manufacturers is, here's all the data we have. It's going to save your customers money. It's going to save you guys money. It's increased performance. Like our system is truly an unprecedented suspension system when compared to even their system. So does that answer that well enough?
Great job. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, Bill, would you like to ask your question?
Yes, I do. So great job, Jacob. So in your presentation, you mentioned that there were kind of like two potential targets. One was Tesla, one was racing teams.
Yeah.
Right. So let me talk about the racing teams one. You know, they're always looking for an edge, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really, and I would think that they might be an easier beachhead, you know, I don't know, than Tesla. But have you thought about, you know, what kind of an edge you could give a race team? Are they going to pick up miles per hour, or what are they going to pick up on a race team?
Yeah, that's an awesome question, Bill. So specifically, Fox Suspension is a billion-dollar company that produces race suspension. They actually started through the race industry. That's how they built their brand. And so I think you're right. I think there is probably a little bit easier entry to market through that aspect, but because our shocks also do efficiency and performance, and the control system, you can program it to be more efficient or higher performance. So you can actually power our shocks in reverse and increase your traction on the ground, which race teams can do either way. If they want to go for efficiency, they can use that setting on our device or program it to be more efficient. They can also program it to, in real time, to adjust to a performance setting. And so it really just depends on what the race team is going for, because there's races that are thousands of miles. You'd probably want more performance. For Formula E, maybe you want, other way, efficiency, and then Formula E, maybe you want performance. So did I answer that well enough?
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect.
Great. Phil, would you, I think your hand is the one that came up next.
Thank you, Jacob. So really intriguing what you're presenting here today. I guess one of the pieces it'd be great if you could say a little bit about is in terms of your presentation, you've got some excellent graphics and numbers, but it's quite difficult to really see in material terms, what those differences could look like. Yeah. Where you've got some kind of performance video of your product versus a competitor product, yeah, that really starts to spell out some of those distinguishing differences. Could you say a little bit about your IP protection and your strategy to be able to tell your story in the most powerful way whilst protecting your core IP? And because that seems to be at the heart of how you can commercialize this. Yeah,
of course. That's an awesome question. And right now, to answer the first portion of that, because of our current level of funding, we needed to validate the design of how we convert to energy, because that's the key difference between our design and others. The performance benefits, there's other companies that are pioneering the control system of it, but they don't have the technology of the actual shock that we can do. So we are confident, we want it, because we validated our initial prototype, we believe that is a green light to be able to incorporate other control systems to our design. And to address your second portion of that question, we're currently working with an attorney, and our design is patentable. No other designs conflict with it. And we're pretty much just waiting on funding to go ahead with that. We would like to initially fund the shock itself, but however, there's several avenues to patent along the process, including, like I said, is like the control system, the feedback response loop, because our technology is a completely different class compared to what people traditionally use in suspension. And so we hope to build a portfolio that way and moving forwards. Is that good?
Great, thank you.
Awesome.
Our last question will come from Don Brown. Don, go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks, Jacob. Great idea. Solid. Anyways, very, very interesting. Help me understand your team. What do you have now? What do you see as your needs going forward? Yeah. Where's that expertise? How do you crack the code of getting inside those auto companies, right?
Yeah. I'm really glad you asked that, Don, because me and my partner right now are both engineering. I come from a mechanical and software background. And then my partner also designed. He's a well-spoken, he's good with sales. However, he's not a business guy. So we see one as bringing on an electrical engineer as well to develop the MVP, because we believe once we get an MVP that you can compare side by side. Here's the stock suspension, here's our suspension, here's the energy we generated. If we can prove that, that's when we want to include business and salespeople on our team, because once we hit that mile marker, we believe that it will be a success. And that's where we feel like with our expertise, we will miss out on opportunities if we don't have a business component of our team. So yes, we want to expand our team. And we believe right now we don't have the means to get to market with the team we're at, but we want to expand it once we reach our MVP, or even later this summer, right before developing our MVP. Awesome. Thank you.
Great. If that is all the questions we have, our time is up anyway. So thank you so much.